Hello and welcome to this episode of the Virtual Engineering Centre podcast, Engineering in Digital. I'm Emma Green, and in this episode we'll be introducing the new ERDF initiative Cheshire and Warrington 4.0, what it means for forward-thinking manufacturers and what real business opportunities are available from collaborating with the industry-facing teams involved. Following on from the legacy and success of the LCR 4.0 project, C&W4.0 supports SMEs across the Cheshire and Warrington area to explore and adopt industrial digital technologies which can accelerate business productivity, propel product development, and ensure you build the resilience and competitive edge needed in today's climate. In this instalment, we are joined by Paul Chapman of the Cheshire and Warrington Growth Hub, in addition to a number of the C&W project delivery partners, including the Virtual Engineering Centre, Liverpool John Moores University, Northern Automotive Alliance, and the Science and Technology Facilities Council. So joining us today is Paul Chapman of the Cheshire and Warrington Growth Hub. So many thanks, Paul, for joining us today. What can you tell us about the manufacturing industry throughout the Cheshire and Warrington region?
Yes, hi Emma. Thanks very much for the opportunity to speak with you. Manufacturing is one of the key sectors that we have in Cheshire and Warrington. There's just under 6,000 businesses in the area that identify themselves as manufacturers, and probably many more who actually fit the definition in other areas. It's one of the key identified areas of growth for the Cheshire and Warrington region. We've got a fairly diverse range of manufacturing. It's probably fair to say that more so on the high-tech side of things, Cheshire and Warrington is clearly known as a bit of a national hub in the pharmaceuticals sector. In particular, but we've got a wide range of other manufacturing, high-tech manufacturing operations in the area, including engineering in particular is an area that we get quite a lot of inquiries from. And
based on the businesses in the region, what would you list as the key challenges for digital adoption within manufacturing?
Well, one of the key areas that we're getting a lot of inquiries and a lot of interest from businesses about, actually, possibly in a slightly strange way, relates to the drive towards net zero and carbon neutrality and that kind of thing. There's a sense that businesses are looking to take that challenge on by increasing local manufacturing capacity. So whereas in previous years the model might be to have an economy of scale by manufacturing offshore, and where manufacturing costs are low and that kind of thing, and then distributing to a worldwide customer base. There's a number of drivers that seem to be pushing manufacturers to manufacture more locally. Part of that's also linked to Brexit, no doubt, and supply chain difficulties around that, and the COVID situation and so on. So we're getting a lot of inquiries from businesses that are really wanting to respond to that by increasing their productivity. So they need to become more efficient than they have been previously in order to manufacture more locally. And of course, that's something that we want to see as well. So there's a clear benefit to the Cheshire and Warrington economy in seeing that kind of thing going on locally. And it's clear that one of the main enablers of that kind of capability within businesses is the rise of digital technologies. A lot of businesses know about it, they've heard about it, they've got the idea that these kind of technologies could help them in their businesses, but they're not necessarily quite sure where to start. So that's where a program like Cheshire and Warrington 4.0 can be really valuable. I think one of the key areas will be those businesses that, if you like, don't know what they don't know. They think it's a good idea and they ought to be doing it. They know it can help their business, but they just need some guidance in making those first few steps.
Brilliant, and I think that's spot on as well. There's quite a few businesses that we've met through LCR 4.0, for example, the previous project that we worked on, and a lot of businesses, they kind of have that idea of what they want to do, but they're just not sure of the steps of how to get there, or the best way to get there, the most effective way to get there. So yeah, I definitely think you're spot on there. So according to the Cheshire and Warrington LET website, Up until 2019, the Cheshire and Warrington economy had doubled in size over 20 years to almost 32.5 billion of GVA per annum. What changes and shifts have you seen in the region since the pandemic, and how would you judge attitudes towards digital technologies within the region and within this particular industry?
I think for manufacturing companies specifically, one of the situations raised by the pandemic in particular has been, as I mentioned previously, supply chains, foreign supply chains in particular, where countries have been affected. The fact that different countries have been affected at different times around the world has meant that some supply chains have been quite chaotic, with manufacturers of goods having things made in different countries, finding that different parts of those supply chains are disrupted at different times, making it extremely difficult to plan for things. Hence the drive, as I say, with some manufacturers to try and take a little bit more control of those supply chains than to be making things themselves, whereas previously they would outsource the manufacturing. From our own point of view, our strategy isn't just based around purely growth, of course, but also that sustainability. Our ambitions are to see the area both grow the economy, but also to see that happen in a sustainable and inclusive and healthy way. And this is another place where digital technology adoption can really play a major role, I think, for businesses. So the ability to make more with the same resources that they've already got is a key factor for businesses. So digitisation, in order to remain competitive, is definitely very important for these businesses.
And lastly, how do you think projects such as C&W 4.0 could benefit the region?
One of the keys for manufacturers is to increase their productivity, and to do this, we need to help those manufacturing businesses adopt new digital technologies so that they can identify and capitalise on the opportunities and solve problems to stay ahead of the competition. So this is why we wholeheartedly welcome the Cheshire and Warrington 4.0 programme. We'll certainly be doing our part to make sure that every eligible business in Cheshire and Warrington has the opportunity to benefit from the extraordinary range of support on offer.
That's great. Thanks for joining us today, Paul. So we're also joined today by Craig Beck, Industrial Innovation Lead for the C&W 4.0 project on behalf of the Virtual Engineering Centre. So thank you very much for joining me today, Craig. So how, firstly, would you describe C&W 4.0 and how exactly does it aim to support SMEs?
Yes, thank you, Emma. Well, C&W 4.0, it's a European Regional Development Funded project, which really means that it's a fully funded project for SMEs, allowing them to access the expertise of the partner organisations within the project, which really gives them the opportunity to advance themselves at no cost to themselves. The real benefits, I think, are that we've got a lot of expertise within the department. We've got over 10 years of experience and collaborations working with SMEs, just like the ones in Cheshire and Warrington. Our approach really is to understand the businesses, find out what each particular business needs, and then really sort of use the skill set that we have to apply that to support the businesses and help them develop and understand the technologies that are available to them. So really it's about implementation. One of the benefits of the project is that we can help with that implementation, which can be daunting. We can help with strategic planning, which means there's a smooth implementation, and that means that eventually there'll be faster adoption for quicker results and longer term benefits for the organisations involved. We're good at helping solve industry problems, and it's really about providing bespoke digital solutions to those businesses in the area, because every business has a different particular need, and it's really about finding those particular needs and resolving them for the businesses. So things like advanced networks across industries, regions, digital supply chains. We've also got delivery partners who have expertise in different areas to the Virtual Engineering Centre as well. So across all the partners, we're able to deliver a whole host of supports for businesses within the area. It's about making relationships with the businesses and really understanding their needs and supporting them to get the best out of the digitalisation process, and obviously help their competitiveness at the end of the day.
Perfect. So what would you say the key challenges C&W 4.0 can help businesses to overcome?
Well, clearly, Emma, that there's been a huge disruption to business with COVID-19, and also recently we've had the Brexit changes that have affected businesses completely. And the other thing, obviously, is just increased competition and competitiveness across the board, really. So this is really about looking at how we can help them become more competitive, enhancing their productivity, which is always something that can benefit businesses, help them with product development or even service developments we work on as well. Perhaps it's about the layout of the factory. Can we improve the layout of the factory to improve efficiencies on the shop floor? We can use 3D scanning for that. Or is it something about artificial reality and virtual reality apps that we can help create to improve the efficiency and competitiveness across their industry? Other things we can do, advanced simulation, we can do product testing, validating products, and also data collection. We can analyse data in bigger, larger chunks, which can help support businesses and make sense of all the data that's out there, right? And perhaps, another aspect that's worth considering is being better connected. And when I say better connected, I'm talking about knowing what's going on with the machinery that they're working with, and making connections with the equipment, and bringing that data in and analysing the data to be more productive as well. So it's all about looking at the challenges that businesses are facing at the moment, and really sort of finding solutions to some of those from a digital perspective. And I think that's something that we're very able to do.
Brilliant. So with the Virtual Engineering Centre being the lead partner within C&W 4.0, what expertise are then available to businesses who want to engage with the project?
Yes, the Virtual Engineering Centre is the lead partner. We do have other partners as well. There's Liverpool John Moores University is involved, and the Science and Technologies Facilities Council, or STFC as it's known, and also the Northern Automotive Alliance is involved as well. So across all those partners, we offer different areas of expertise, and we're able to support businesses in slightly different ways, which means that as we're approached by an SME, we can actually signpost the SME to the most relevant organisation. The areas of expertise that we have obviously are in virtual reality, augmented reality, and advanced visualization. We can do modelling, data analytics, artificial intelligence and simulation as well. We can do autonomous systems, robotics, and we're also able to offer digital twin technology, which is quite useful for many organisations. Within all that, we can create digital test beds and sandpit technology sessions, and this is an opportunity to allow businesses to explore and understand what's available, and often they can also see how other businesses in other sectors, industries, have utilised particular tools and technologies. So it's a way of cross-fertilising between industries, that digital expertise and knowledge. And it's a fantastic collaborative way of working to really support businesses across the spectrum. And I think our overall approach really is to build relationships with businesses, SMEs within the area, and really get to grips with what their problems are, and how we can find solutions for them that can aid them and support them, and obviously ultimately make them more competitive within the environment.
So we are also joined by Anthony Walker of Liverpool John Moores University. So thank you very much, Anthony, for joining us today. So what would you say are the key benefits for businesses who engage with the C&W 4.0 project in terms of being able to work with 2 universities within the region?
Thanks, Emma. Well, I think first and foremost, CW 4.0 brings together world-class assets to provide bespoke, timely and relevant support to help industry accelerate their digital journey. And what we're looking to do is help companies increase their productivity and improve their competitiveness in the challenging global landscape that we're in at the moment. So we do that really by providing impartial, hands-on support through translating technology into real practical applications, really trying to demystify this complex world of digital technology and de-risking innovation, and working with our knowledge-based partners to build sustainable relationships. And we never lose sight of the fact that implementing new technologies needs to have a return on investment or open up a new opportunity for economic growth. So we'll try and diagnose your challenges with you as a company, and then develop a suite of solutions in a timely fashion that will have a practical and positive impact on your business. So if you consider the 2 universities involved, there's access to world-class facilities, there's access to cutting-edge technology, a whole variety of different technologies with teams of experts in areas such as virtual reality and additive manufacturing, integration of sensors, drone technology, utilize and analyzing data, connectivity, and of course cybersecurity, make sure everything's okay. With regard to sort of accessing our facilities, our projects are set up that people can access our testing laboratories, access our laboratories to do some additional research or innovation and validation of products or processes or even systems, and really by creating sustainable collaborations, not just collaborations where we work on one project or one problem, but sustainable so that we can continue to work with you on your journey, particularly in the current landscape that we're in with the current pandemic. So at LGMU and the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, there's a whole host of research that's going on, but it's applied research. It's not just blue sky. So it's research that is really looking to have an impact on industry. Again, looking at wireless technologies and 5G and sensor technology, and not technologies that are always expensive when you consider digital or Industry 4.
Perfect. So how would a company or business say if they either had an idea of what they would like to do, or maybe they don't actually know what they want to achieve or how they would specifically get to an objective? How would these companies get in touch and work with delivery partners such as LGMU?
Well, the CW 4.0 project looks at industrial challenges really through the lens of an engineer, and we have our hands-on practical support to provide solutions that are not just relevant and crucial to help SMEs realise their growth potential, but also to be as timely as they can. So examples of how we can help someone is, we can look at what your challenge is and then look at a variety of different solutions, whether it be short term, medium term or long term. And sometimes it's best to start small. So we could potentially look at a student project to get some new thinking on this, to get some extra resource into that project. It could be that you're looking at additional funding that's required or a stronger collaboration, so we can help access to funds for R&D so that we can really drive and accelerate that innovation into your business. We can also help with elements of upskilling the workforce to make sure that your workforce is at a level to be able to adapt to having new technology. So at JMU, we have a hotbed really for collaboration, developing new ideas. Our researchers and our academics are very industry focused, looking at technologies around drones, looking at sensors. We have a protect unit around cyber security. We have industrial chemistry. We've got sensors on our old lathes, on milling machines, which are starting to gather data and analyze that data and help people really make more informed decisions. And that's absolutely key when you're looking at your digital journey. It's not about technology for the sake of technology. It's about improving your business. And that's what we're about. And at JMU, we'll work with you to help you improve your business.
So, as C&W 4.0 has come around after the success and legacy of the LCR 4.0 project, what can you tell us about the LCR 4.0 project and how is C&W different and similar?
Thanks. LCR 4 was really one of the first projects of its kind to try and help not just industry, but particularly the focus on SMEs, the smaller companies, to help them adopt this Industry 4 concept that we're hearing a lot about. And back in 2016, when we started this LCR 4 journey, it was a case of a lot of people were talking about Industry 4 and no one was really doing anything with it. So we thought we'd really try to implement digital technologies into the heart of companies. And it was a real success to Liverpool City region. The project delivered support to more than 300 companies, was widely recognised as a national exemplar for supporting SMEs. It was named in the Financial Times as one of the top 100 projects for supporting digital technology. And our independent summative assessment had sort of suggested that the wider impact of what we're going to have would be somewhere in the region of about 90 million GVA and around about 1,000 jobs. So that's a great legacy that we had, but we didn't want to stop there. So we've built a suite of projects based around the LCR4 brand. One of those is CW 4.0, because we understand that we don't want to be geographically bound and that the neighbourhood region of Cheshire and Warrington would really benefit, not just from similar support, but from us taking the lessons that we've learned from working with manufacturing and advanced technology and advanced engineering companies and really strengthening that now across the whole of the Northwest. And we're in a really strong position to be able to do that in Cheshire and Warrington. So the similarities will certainly lie in the offer that we have, the offer that we're looking to diagnose challenges that industry have, work with industry on real practical issues, trying to offer up our specialist expertise, our knowledge, and this is all fully funded support. It's not something that we ever say is free because we don't want to say it's free. We're funded to deliver this. But alongside that funding, we can give access to our facilities and access to the experts, the people who are really seeing the benefit of adopting new technologies. So Emma, you asked me about what the differences would be. Well, the whole world has changed over the last 18 months or so. The global pandemic has had a huge impact on all economies and all industries, and the effects of this are going to be felt for a long time. When we look at some of the issues that companies have at the moment, they were starting to look at survival and then liquidity, and then they started to move into a recovery phase. And now we're at a stage where people are starting to look at this a little bit more glass half full, because there's an opportunity to open up new markets and bring the workforce back and embrace new hybrid ways of working. So the need for this project now has never really been more timely, and we can't wait to really start getting stuck in to what we've got to offer and working with all of our colleagues across Cheshire and Warrington to really make a difference to the region.
So also joining us today is Dr. Angela Walsh, who is the Business Development Manager for the Science, Technology and Facilities Centre. So thank you very much for joining us today, Angela. So what are the areas of expertise for STFC and how can you support businesses?
Thank you, Emma. Well, firstly, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak today. The Science and Technologies Facility Council is a key delivery partner, especially for anybody that wants to explore additive manufacturing, machine learning, artificial intelligence, modelling and simulation, and anything else associated with high performance computing. At the Campus Technology Hub, we have the facilities that will help organisations speed up development and testing by reducing their costs and the resources needed. And we do this by doing 3D printing and additive manufacturing. The Hartree Centre, which is part of STFC, is home to one of the largest supercomputers in the UK that is dedicated to research and development. We all know how important data is to businesses nowadays, so we are here to support these businesses and learning what data holds value, to extract insight out of that, how they can collect it and what they can do with that data to ensure that they can make informed business decisions.
So from experience with working with businesses across the Northwest, what would you say are some of the key examples of where the delivery partners have really helped to deliver impact?
The really exciting thing about Cheshire and Warrington 4.0 is you're not just restricted to working with one partner. Depending on your particular needs and our offering, you could potentially collaborate with a few partners, gaining support across multiple tools and technologies. A good example of this is where we have worked with the Virtual Engineering Centre in supporting an organisation called Heap & Partners. Heap & Partners are based in Birkenhead, and they're a valve manufacturer who have been in business since 1866. STFC worked with their team to develop a 3D printed model of one of their larger valves, and the Heap & Partners could use this to take and put it in front of investors and clients, as the real valve was really way too heavy to be transporting around. We then collaborated with the Beck, who then developed an AR app which could be placed in front of the printed model to showcase the workings of the valve to best demonstrate the key benefits and intricacies of it. The teams have supported in factory scanning and ensuring new equipment is placed in the most efficient locations. We've been running quick simulations to gain thousands of results, which can offer the best solution and enhance informed decision making for directors and the technologists. And this is without having to move heavy machinery around, which would take a lot of time, effort, and has health and safety implications.
Brilliant. So for those businesses hearing manufacturing, does this restrict businesses who are eligible and can apply for the fully funded support?
Absolutely not. Although we aim to support manufacturing businesses, we are not limited to those companies that align themselves with the more traditional manufacturing. Any type of manufacturer can access this excellent support that we have here. And these could be organisations that do general engineering, textiles, fabrication. They could be working within the food and drink industry, automotive, renewable energy, and pharmaceutical and medical devices. So we cover a really rich and diverse area of businesses that we will help. We urge all types of businesses to get in touch with us. And even if we can't support you in this particular project, we will be able to signpost you to other avenues of support.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Angela.
Thanks, Emma.
So our next guest is Paul from the Northern Automotive Alliance. So thank you very much for joining us today, Paul. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Emma. So I'm Paul Jones, and I'm Chief Executive of the Northern Automotive Alliance. We're a not-for-profit organisation that supports the motor industry in the north of the country.
So with the shift to electrification and other zero-emission technologies, there is a huge and compelling need for the automotive sector being on top of customer and even government demand and expectation, using digital technologies to reach these objectives. Paul, the Northern Automotive Alliance is new to the project delivery group. So what key role does the NAA bring to the C&W 4.0 project?
Well, Emma, the NAA has been around since 2004. As staff members, we've got over 80 years of experience in the automotive and advanced engineering and manufacturing sector across the Northwest. We've got about 90 member companies and links to around 600 other organisations across the region. And all of this brings us a real understanding of businesses in the Northwest, which is new to this particular group of partners who've so far had great success in supporting Liverpool City region SMEs. We have a great understanding of the ecosystem involved, the supply chains in the region, and an array of businesses we really believe could benefit from the opportunity of working with this group. Expertise is the name of the game, and we specialise in everything automotive, which is a key segment of manufacturing. So we understand the struggles, also the opportunities of adopting new digital tools and technologies, such as 3D printing, artificial intelligence, machine learning. And these are no longer nice to haves, and the pandemic has certainly accelerated the need for these tools. And the Cheshire and Warrington team are here to drive your business into the fourth industrial revolution.
So, referring back to the need for electrification and other zero-emission technologies within the automotive sector, how does this relate back to the C&W 4.0 project?
Well, Emma, as you've highlighted, as a sector, the automotive industry is in a time of unprecedented change with the whole shift to electrification and to other zero-emission technologies. But this is also going to bring with it huge opportunities for businesses to become part of these supply chains. And companies are going to need to improve their competitiveness here in this arena. And they can do that through the adoption of digital technologies.
So for those businesses listening, what is the criteria of the C&W 4.0 project?
Well, Emma, it's really quite straightforward in terms of eligibility criteria. Quite simply, you have to be an SME, a small and medium-sized enterprise, registered within the Cheshire or Warrington region. Now, that also includes Stockport, Crewe, Halton and Wirral, amongst others. A small or medium enterprise is typically a company which has a turnover of no more than £50 million a year and no more than 250 employees. And obviously, we're looking for that company to be based in the manufacturing sector as well for this programme. Now, if you're not sure whether you fit into one of these categories, please still do get in touch, as we may have other initiatives you can access, or we may even know of someone else who can help. Now, remember, this is fully funded support, so it does not cost your business a single penny.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Paul. Let C&W 4.0 be your R&D team. Integrating digital technology into your business can make you more productive, efficient and relevant to the needs of your customers. C&W 4.0 will help you understand where to start when considering digital technology and how to successfully implement it into your business. For more information, please visit www.C&W4.uk. So a huge thanks again to our listeners and of course to all of our speakers today from the Cheshire and Warrington Growth Hub and all delivery partners from the C&W 4.0 project. Join us again on the Beck podcast, Engineering in Digital.